If you're looking to generate leads into your business with ads, then you are in the right place. Yogesh Bhatt and we run Ads Growth Academy. It is basically a membership site that shows you how to run ads to your offers that actually convert into leads and sales. We share with you multiple ad strategies that we know 100% work regardless of the niche market that you're in. And on a monthly basis, we also deliver live calls. So what you're about to look at is the live call that we just had yesterday, and it just talks about what is new with Facebook ads, what to pay attention to, and some Q&As at the end. Enjoy! Hello everyone, Yogesh and Ivana here. Thank you so much for joining in today. Yogesh has something really cool for you. So I'm just gonna make sure that he can share the screen. There you go.
So, hello everyone. This is going to be a little brief presentation. Ivana and I were discussing that we have pretty much covered everything which can be covered for Facebook and Google Ads, right? So we keep on thinking about what topic to cover, like what's something new that we can provide, what new knowledge is out there that we can give. We have created this presentation, Ivana and we have created this presentation on the basis of what we have observed. What are the new changes and what's cooking with Facebook ads in 2025? Right? So the first major thing that Facebook is pushing on to is AI, right? If you're running Facebook ads, if you're doing anything around Facebook ads, you would have seen that now Facebook is doing is it's giving the option to create content using AI. It's giving the option to create some images using AI. It's also giving you the option to write content so basically headline, the primary text, the call to action and everything using AI, right? So AI is taking over the content creation first thing. So this is one of the major things. So earlier it was just more of a soft launch that they did. Now AI is taking over the content creation. So if you don't like writing content or if you cannot write amazing content like Ivana does, right? You can always take the help of AI and you can write the content. Again, second thing which is out there is using multiple images. So now earlier what we used to do and probably everyone used to do, we used to push one single image for one ad, right? If we want to split test the images, it used to be a different scenario, but for one ad there used to be just one single image. But now what Facebook wants you to do is it wants you to use multiple images. So even if you're pushing one single ad, you need to have three different images, one for mobile, one for the desktop one, and one for Instagram, right? So three different sizes, three different images. And the more images you use, the better Facebook would give results to you. So AI first and using multiple images second. So this is one of the major update Facebook has brought on in 2025. So next thing Facebook is focusing on is user generated content, right? So what is user generated content? So for example, you create an ad from a brand perspective. So you say that this is what we do, this is what our brand does, these are the features, these are the benefits and all of those things, right? So this is brand generated content. We call it BGC, brand generated content. Now user generated content is taking over. What is user generated content? So for example, if you provide a service, like we provide agency services, right? So what we would do is we would ask our clients to create some video, to create some post for us that we can post, right? So basically user generated content is what your user is saying about it, right? So user generated content is taking over on Facebook because it feels more authentic, because it's directly coming from your client, right? It's directly. So if for example, if you would be our client and one of our other client would be speaking about us, you would feel more connected with it and it would feel more authentic rather than us telling us that, okay, this is what we can do, this is what our results are. If our client would be telling this on a video that, okay, this is what they do, these are the results that they have generated and so on, it would feel more authentic and it would connect more with our other clients. So user generated content is taking over. The brand generated content is still working, but it's not working as good as the user generated content. Next thing is the learning phase. So if you're familiar with Facebook ads, whenever you push the ads, so for few days or like for few weeks at times, you can see learning right next to your Facebook ad. So that is learning phase for the ad, right? So what Facebook has done is that they have reduced the learning phase, giving area for early optimization. So what do I mean by that? So basically, whenever you used to push the ads, there used to be a learning phase, right? Once the learning phase is complete, only after that you would go into the ad and you would do the optimizations. You would see what is working for you, what's not working for you, what audience is working, what image is working, what age group is working, what gender is working, and so on, right? So we were able to do all this after the learning phase was over. And the learning phase used to be huge, right? At times it used to be 5 days, 7 days, 9 days. It's completely variable, but it used to be huge. Now what Facebook has done is the learning phase is reduced. So your campaign would learn for the algorithm for your campaign would learn for a few days, and then it would show that the learning phase is over, which would give you more time for optimizations. The number of conversions have been reduced from 50 to 10 on the base. So this is on the basis of our observation. So what I mean by this is, for example, earlier, and we have said it over the call. So if you want to create a conversion campaign, right, you need to have some conversions in place. So for example, if I want someone to buy something on my website and I want to create a conversion ad for that, I need to at least have 50 conversions, or at least have 600 conversions, right? Only then if I'll use the conversion as my objective, it would work better for me. So the number for conversions which are needed to have to run the conversion campaign, it used to be somewhere between 50 to 100. Again, it's not something that Facebook says, it's something that we have observed over a period of time, right? So the number of conversions used to be 50, but now Facebook have dropped it to 10. So even if you have just 10 conversions on your website, you can run a conversion campaign. And what this does is, it gives you better results because now you can directly run a conversion campaign. And we have said this a lot of time, that conversion campaigns work best, but you need to use them only after you have certain conversions. The number used to be 50 earlier, it's just 10. So Facebook has reduced the number of conversions that you need to run a conversion campaign, which again gives you time for early optimizations, and at the same time, it gives you better results. So this is another big change that we have observed, that like if you can create a niche audience, that's great, right? But what would give better results is if you would start with some broad targeting. If you're new to Facebook ads, if you've just started running Facebook ads, and if you'll create a very small audience, you would be spending more money. A, the reach would be low. B, and since you don't even know how your campaign would perform, you are just limiting your sales or results or conversions, right? So now if you are starting your ads, starting with broad targeting is giving better results. Like if your ad account is old, even if you have done a lot of ads on your ad account, then you can go with the narrow targeting. But if you have a new account, if you're just starting with broad targeting is giving way better results, right? So these are some of the things, some that we have seen, right? Some of these things are on the basis of observe or what we have observed, and some of these things are on the basis of what Facebook has done, right? So these are some new updates or some new observations that we have seen in 2025 as regards to Facebook. So I'll just quickly brief it. I understand this is a very brief presentation. However, these are very important things. Like if you'll be able to implement these in your campaigns, you'll be able to get great results, especially the user generated content. User generated content is huge as of now. Facebook has openly said that they are pushing user generated content. And with the user generated content, you'll be able to get better sales, right? So I'll just quickly brief it. User generated content is a great idea. Ask your clients to create some content for you. Like if they can give you some testimonial, they can say something about your product, right? It's giving great results. Broad targeting is great results if you're starting your Facebook ads journey, right? Third one is that the learning phase has been reduced. And since it has been reduced, you can optimize your campaigns, you can work on your campaigns earlier than what you used to be, right? Another thing is the number of conversions that were required to run a conversion ad. It used to be huge, somewhere between 50 to 100. But now, even if you have just 10 odd conversions, you can run those campaigns, right? So these are some of, and sorry, last one, AI. So if you don't know how to write good content, take use of AI, use AI in your images and all of those things, and you'll be getting great results, right? So this is it for the presentation today, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Yogesh. Really appreciate that. I do actually have a couple questions for you,
Mm-hmm.
couple suggestions for people who are using AI to generate content. So first, so I don't forget, this is like
Mm-hmm.
a powerful tip on using the ChatGPT to create content. So let's just say you see 5 to 10 different ads
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook that grab your attention and you're like clicking the links. If
Mm-hmm.
that ad did that, that means it's working, right? You
Mm-hmm.
got pulled into it. You can take those ads, copy and paste them, go into ChatGPT, and you can type in the prompt saying, get familiar with this writing style of the ad content. And then you drop these ads, and then you ask it based on what the content was to create your brand new ad based on that. You give it just some instructions on what you want the ad to say, and then based on the really great content, it does it. I did this recently with 3 different posts that I saw on Facebook. No, 2 posts were from Facebook, and one was an email. And I was like, can you please get familiar with this type of writing? I gave it my story, but I asked it to utilize that style of writing, and it was amazing what it came up with. So definitely a great way to go in terms of using the ChatGPT. Couple of things here. You did say that broad audience is better to go with that. What
Mm-hmm.
is a good size broad audience? Like million, half million?
So it totally depends, to be honest. Like for different products, there are different sizes, right? So for example, if there is a very generic product, the broad audience would be huge and the narrow audience would be very small. It can be like 5,000 to 10,000, right? So there is no such number. What you need to do is when you're running Facebook ad, when you're defining the audience, on the right hand side, there's a meter, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, you must have seen it. There's a meter and it keeps showing that whether your audience is broad or whether it's narrow, right? So there is no defined size for a broader audience, to be honest, or for a narrow audience. Because like I remember there was one of the ads that we created and the narrow audience was 200, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is no definite size for a narrow audience or broader audience. Just focus on the meter if it says broad, right? It
Mm-hmm.
that the audience is broad. If it says normal, so basically between broad and narrow there's a very
Mm-hmm.
it says normal or something. I don't exactly remember the word, to be honest, but then there's broad, then there's normal, and then there's narrow, right? So just focus on that meter, and depending on that you can see whether your audience is broad or not.
Okay, cool. Another thing, you said that the conversion pixel needs to have like, did you say 10 or 50?
Yeah, 10. It used to be 50 earlier. Like if earlier when we used to run the conversion ads, like for
Mhm,
example, we want to run the conversion ads for sale, right? So we used to select sale as the conversion objective, right?
mhm,
So the requirement, the prerequisite for running that ad used to be that you need to at least have 50 sales
mhm,
or 100 sales. Only then if you'll be using that conversion as the objective for your ad, it would only then would be working great, right?
mhm.
So earlier the number used to be 50 to 100, and but now Facebook has reduced it. So it's on the basis of observation again, right? It's not something that Facebook openly says, or Facebook did not roll out any guideline for this, that they have reduced it, but now on the basis of observation and also on the basis of what other people has observed, because I read a lot of articles around Facebook ads and all of those things, like what's new is happening out there. So this is something that I observed, and then I also saw other people talking about it on forums or something, right?
Mhm.
So the number used to be 50 before. Now, even if you have just 10 conversions, even then, if you'll use that conversion as an objective, it would be giving you good results.
And I wrote something down, but I can't actually.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I can't understand my writing here, but that's okay. I'll probably remember.
Mm-hmm.
As Yogesh said, it's coming. It's been a little bit difficult to come up with these topics. What to share with you guys for next 2 calls? Definitely have the topics. At least from my end. One is I'm gonna cover because I'm doing consultation work for a dentist, local dentist here, and they are targeting 3 different regions, and they have multiple Google ad accounts because based on the country, they had to separate the Google ad accounts. But on Facebook, everything is tied in together. And I'm consulting on the opt-in page, the structure of the opt-in page, what type of text it needs to have. Now, this is all in Croatian, but I am going to translate this into English for the next call, and then I'm going to break it down for you. What is important, because at the end of the day, they're tying in their email system, and because they did not have that. So they were really throwing money onto the ads, spending quite a bit of money, but they did not have the system in place. And you know, the first rule that Yogesh and I say, you have to have some type of system in place. So anyways, that's one thing. That's for the next call. And then for the call after that, I'm running auto lead transformers ads. Basically, it's showing the system, how to build a whole system from the scratch, how to utilize ChatGPT to create the content, and all of that. And leads are coming in at like $2 or $3, $4, depending on the day, but it's under $5 basically for leads, which is really cool because, you know, constantly I'm getting new people in, and now it's my job to help them help build trust with me so they start working with us, right? I'm more front face when it comes to like who attracts the clients. So anyways, just wanted to share that what's coming up so you know what is coming up. Next coaching call is going to be, let me just look at the date here. So it's 5th of August. So it's 5th of August. Please add that into the calendar. And yeah, that's going to be it for the next call. I know it's summer and getting people to show up is real hard, but at least you know what's coming up next time. So you know what we are doing, how we are doing it, and then help you get there. Okay.
Okay, Ivana. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you
Thank,
so much, everyone.
yeah. Thank you, Yogesh, for doing this presentation and giving us an update. And then on the next call, we are going to be covering the whole campaign, the structure, the content, and all of that. Okay. Take
Okay.
care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.